So as everybody knows by now, next week, Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Doctor Strange are coming out in 4K Ultra HD, and that means that I have to review the movies first. These are the last three that I have to review. I already reviewed Guardians of the Galaxy, so now today I am doing Ant-Man. And this was directed by Peyton Reed, and it stars Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas, Evangeline Lilly, and Corey Stoll. This movie actually was another film like Guardians of the Galaxy that I was kind of skeptical of. I mean, how do you make an Ant-Man movie that doesn't feel childish, kiddie, and kind of unnecessary? He's just kind of a weak character for the Marvel Universe. And, I won't knock him just because of the fact that he was one of the founding members of the Avengers, but he's just a product of his time, and that time has really passed. So coming into this movie, I was skeptical, and what I will say is this movie is just enjoyable fluff kiddie entertainment. And that might sound like a backhanded compliment, but I really feel like that is what this is. Now you have Paul Rudd as Scott Lang here, or Ant-Man, and Marvel is just looking for the next Robert Downey Jr. or another Robert Downey Jr., the snarky, quippy kind of character that's always cracking the jokes. And, I feel like they just don't give enough of that to Paul Rudd here. And I feel like that's a strange thing to do with this movie, but it is what they chose to do. So what that leaves his character is, he's a likable guy, and you are into his plight. He is a guy that is really good at breaking into things and stealing, but he wants to change, and he wants a relationship with his daughter, more of one anyway, and unfortunately his ex-wife is kind of requiring him to clean up his act, and why wouldn't she? But yeah, right there you have a conflict that feels like something out of a child sitcom. And that is something that I'm going to bump up against again and again with this movie, where this is just really childish and trite and very rote and dry material. But what I will say is I really do like Michael Douglas as Hank Pym and Evangeline Lilly as Hope. They kind of elevate this material, and yes, their relationship is also very rote, and they have a lot of rote drama. Hope's mother and Hank's wife died a long time ago when they were on a mission. It really takes Scott to kind of break them out of their shell a little bit. And I say that because they are still kind of very curmudgeonly characters that are always putting Scott down, and they're just always screaming at him for some reason. And that much, I feel like they are kind of unlikable characters, but I tend to gravitate to them more just because of the fact that the acting is so well on their part. And as far as the plot here, you just have a really rote plot that goes into, Scott and his relationship with his daughter, and he wants a better relationship. He's got to do this thing just this one time so he can have that relationship. And then you have Corey Stoll's character here, who is eventually Yellow Jacket. He wants to steal Hank's technology. Scott really comes to help them and puts on the suit, and when he puts on the suit and all of the action that comes along with it and the shrinking, that is the cool stuff with this movie, and that just works so seamlessly. It's a little Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but with a Marvel twist, and that is awesome. But unfortunately, this is just, again, a very rote story that we have all seen before, and they don't do a whole lot to jazz it up. What I will say is there are a lot of side characters that liven up this material, tell the best jokes, and get the jokes that really Paul Rudd should have, really. And, you have like Michael Pena's character here, who is just awesome, and T.I., and that Russian guy, I forget his name. But, those three liven up this material that just feels really, really dry. And when you add all of that together, you come out to a 6 out of 10 for me. This movie just, it needed more style to it. It needed more substance. It needed more individuality. And this movie just feels very dry and very kiddie to me. But I can still, sit back and enjoy it and see it for what it is. So, coming up next on the channel, I do have to review Doctor Strange as the last Marvel film that I have to review, and then all of them I have reviewed on the channel. And feel free to check that out and let me know what you guys think of Ant-Man. I know some people really do like this one. So I thank all of you for watching. You guys are awesome. I don't need to say it because you know it. And I will see all of you next time.